Hi, Florian, and welcome to the very special edition today at Agentforce World Tour, our Spotlight podcast. So, Florian, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience today?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Vanessa. I'm working for Pictet Asset Management in the financial services industry, and I'm heading a department in charge of what we call client-facing technology, which is our web presence, our sales enablement solutions like Salesforce, our reporting solutions, so content we create and send to our clients, and all our data and document infrastructure that orchestrates all the experiences.
Thank you. So let's start at the top. So when you hear digital transformation in the context of client technology, what does that really mean for your organization today?
It is a very important subject for us overall. Some examples, we are really trying to make our sales teams more efficient and more productive. So they spend probably too much time today doing work which is not directly related to selling and to facing clients. So that is one big pillar of our strategic objectives we would like to work on. Another example is how do we create more impact in everything we do? So how do we enable our marketing teams, our content creation teams to have more impact in what they do and how it actually reaches the client? How do we have a better experience with the client at the end of the day?
And where do you see the biggest disconnect or the biggest challenge?
It is overall, we are at the beginning of a transformation journey. So as always, there is a disconnect in how we can actually bring everyone on this journey. So how can we actually change processes? How can we use technology better in what we do on a day-to-day basis? And we have these challenges internally, so with our people who are using the new technology and change the way they work. And probably our clients still not feel the advantages of what that can bring to you yet, like a better service or a better timeliness of service and content that is provided. So this disconnect is still there, and we need to work on that in the coming years.
And where do you see the biggest disconnect between clients' expectation and what tech delivers or what Pictet today delivers?
Overall, I would say that we put client services, or the client service and the quality we bring to clients, at the heart of our business proposition. So overall, I think clients appreciate the service we offer them through our sales and client servicing and marketing teams. Probably the efforts to do that are probably still too high. And that is also probably then a mismatch in the expectation at times, because it might take too much time to respond to requests or to even propose maybe something which is more tailor-made for the client. So there might be a mismatch in expectations in the quality, or maybe in the timeliness of service, and also the tailor-made way of addressing client needs, where there might be a disconnect.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And which role plays Salesforce today at Pictet?
It plays already, I would say, quite an important role, and we actually would like to grow the importance of Salesforce within our company. It's roughly 1/3 of our staff, so it's 340 people already using Salesforce today. The impact yet on day-to-day business and ultimately client experience still is not there where we would like it to be. So we have a good basis, but I think really getting to the next step is our objective in the coming years.
And how do you ensure your digital strategy align with that with your clients?
We've actually launched an initiative recently that we call Client Experience, where we're reviewing the service model that we would like to offer as a company to our clients. So there we have identified already some gaps in the way we service certain type of clients, and also some gaps in how we can bring the whole organization to actually contribute to the way we serve and work with clients, to serve clients and work with clients. Technology should play a pivotal role in actually making that better. So in actually getting us to the next level of the experience, or also simplifying internally the effort or the work that is required to provide even better service. So that is probably the key point in our digital strategy, how we create ultimately better client experiences supported by technology.
Yeah, often very high touch, relationship driven, and also actually value.
Yes, and that is really the value at the end of the day is probably the most important one. How can we make sure that all the efforts we put in the way we manage our relationships and we engage with clients, how can we make sure that at the end of the day we get the most value out of that, the client gets the most value out of that. And that's where there is also still probably a disconnect today at times where we realize the efforts we put in, but necessarily the outcome we get. So we need to get that ratio into a better position.
Okay, so let's get tactical now. So what role does technology like Salesforce, in the sense, play in reimagining the client journey for you, right?
It plays an important role for us, and we would really like to further grow the role of Salesforce and really assist our distribution teams with technology to be more impactful. So concretely, we are trying really to measure more and more client touchpoints in the client journey these days to get a better understanding of what is working well already and where maybe we need to change the way we engage clients, send out newsletters, run certain campaigns as an example. We're also looking in optimizing certain business processes, also that we, within Salesforce, so we have, for example, reviewed our RFP processes recently. We are thinking of adding some onboarding parts that are not in Salesforce today into the system to really have a holistic view of the journey. And then by doing so, again, having more data available to ultimately increase or improve our client experience and ultimately improve the loyalty that clients will show towards us, because we are in an industry where at times of difficulties in financial performance of our financial products, clients can relatively easily move away from us. But if we create this superior client experience and have a deep relationship with them, it is really an argument for them to stay and to stay with us in the long run.
So from onboarding to legality then, right?
Ultimately, yes. You improve the whole client journey. You start proposing a more tailor-made, customized, and personalized experience. You further improve our client servicing, which is already at a high level, but probably at a relatively high effort. Mm-hmm. You are more responsive. You're faster in delivering and content and specific answers. All that is a package that is ultimately improving client experience and then leads to more loyalty.
And have you seen a shift in how client data is used, not just for efficiency, but also for building trust?
We are at the start of that process. We really still want to better capture the data that we have available and to become more data-driven. We want to keep the human touch, and especially in our business, the relationship with client will always remain very important. But by increasing the capture or the analysis of the data we have available, we should take the right conclusions and again make our engagement more impactful, create a better client experience, and then ultimately lead to trust from the client point of view, but also internally within the organization, so that everyone within the organization can contribute to the success to serve clients and to serve them better.
So before loyalty, there is trust, right? So when you have trust, either internally but also from the customer, you automatically have loyalty, right? So is it not the other way around?
You say trust first, then comes loyalty?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
That's a philosophical question. You're probably right. From our point of view, it's really about a better experience so that clients want to work with us and stay with us.
Yeah.
And that ultimately leads to trust in the relationship and to loyalty in our commercial relationship in the long run. So both are extremely important.
So, and this brings me to the next question, right? Because digital transformation isn't just about tech, it's about people, culture. And we heard before in the CMO roundtable I was leading, it's mindset. So what are the internal shifts needed to sustain meaningful change within the organization and ultimately also to reflect this in your customer loyalty?
It is a big challenge for us because we really would like to transform the way we do business and move to a more digitally enabled sales approach while keeping the human touch and the strong relationship we have with our clients through humans. It's change management at the end of the day, but the challenge is probably the pace of change and the technological evolution that we are facing. And what we are trying at this stage is to work on the tone from the top, so we have a strong executive commitment to move into that direction. But we also try to provide context, and we probably don't do that enough. That's something which we're realizing these days. So we need to provide more context so that people understand why we are trying to work differently, what would we like to achieve ultimately, and what steps we have to go through first before actually reaching that goal. We try to find quick wins to help people with the help of technology to be more productive. At the same time, we will ask them to capture more data. And on the back of that, we hope to get better results. So we're trying to reach this cycle, or this positive cycle now, and we're still at an early stage. So we have to fight to get there.
And how do you see, the reskilling of the people? Because I think that with this technology shift, there is obviously the part of how I prepare my organization for this new era. What about the mindset shift? What about, the technology shift? Are you preparing your employees for this?
We are trying. I say trying because that is one of the biggest challenges in this transformation.
This is why I'm asking, by the way.
It's a very good question. As I said before, context is very important, and we probably don't spend enough time explaining the context. Sometimes we do not have the time because you almost want to be too fast in moving to the next level. We will probably try to find some rainmakers or pathfinders in the organization who have already this mindset and who are motivated to try certain things and to move to the next level. And when we have some success in that field, we probably will ask the others to follow. But at the same time, reskilling, as you said, is important, and we need to provide the training, the explanations in actually getting the people there.
And I think that also talking about the success stories is super crucial, right? Because there is where you build the trust, specifically internally within the employees and the leadership, obviously.
We have a few success stories already, but it's still relatively early stage. So that's why we're really aiming now to demonstrate that value and share that with the community, our distribution teams, and then hopefully create or kickstart this movement to gradually move the whole organization into the new world.
Wow, that sounds like a great mission.
It's a great mission, but it's a long mission. So it's probably a 5-year journey, and probably change the way how we work within the organization in quite a significant way.
And thank you for the numbers. So if you could fast forward 5 years, what's one thing you hope clients will say about their experience with your brand or platform, and also your employees, by the way, who are the one leading this change?
I hope they will continue to say that they enjoy working with us and they have great customer service. Of course, they will not see the efforts that are required to get to that point. So hopefully internally it would be less effort to provide the same or even a better level. And of course, a more tailor-made and personalized experience. So ultimately the client should feel that our company knows the client even better than before and can really propose solutions rather than maybe selling financial products. So that should be hopefully the feeling that the client will see in 2030.
And you will see the results by the loyalty and the trust of employees, but also of the customer.
And we need to measure that all the way along.
Absolutely. So Florian, thank you so much for the insight and for the honesty. Thank you for being with me here in this limited edition of the podcast here at World Tour in Zurich. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And all the best.
Thank you.
I will follow the story of Pictet.
Thanks.
Thank you.